We are going to review the brand new information that was dropped for the Akuma trailer in Street Fighter 6, and it was released today at the special event here that was just earlier. It is the Capcom Highlight Showcase. Now, if you want to check that out, I put the rebroadcast in the chat there. And as the showcase went through earlier today, there was information on a few of the Capcom games that was going through, and some of the information for Street Fighter wise was they had dropped the Akuma trailer, which, if you guys want to watch that specifically, it is on YouTube in the chat right here. And basically, the development team for Street Fighter through Capcom basically goes through and says the game is roughly 9-10 months old. They felt that this season had passed by very quickly, and they are working extremely hard to, keep up with demands and make sure everything's going smoothly on their end. They said that in addition to Akuma coming through, and he is going to have his own world tour story and missions, that they are also going to be adding in sound-related features into the Battle Hub. They said that they are working on Year 2 content right now. So Season 2 content they're working on at this moment, and it is under development. Because Akuma is released springtime, spring is officially active towards the end of March. So there is a window from the end of March until around the middle of May. That is the whole spring season. So technically he could be released anytime in that season. But if we look to what the general timeline is from when they release a trailer like this, there's usually 2 to 3, maybe even 4 weeks before then they release a moveset trailer, and then a couple of weeks after that they release the character. So I would say we might see Akuma sometime in April. That's what I'm thinking. And then after that happens, they may, if they decide to do 4 characters per season for Season 2, they may do another character for spring. So it might be spring, summer, fall, winter, end of Season 2, CPT, Season 2 ends, then spring, summer, fall, winter again. So technically we may see two characters for the spring season. Technically, Akuma is still Season 1. Even though he's after Capcom Pro Tour ending for Season 1. And it's completed. But that would be something very interesting to see, because if I'm just trying to think if they're trying to keep character on track with the actual competition season. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what is up with that. And it says here, not clear if the Season 2 balance patch update would be coming through with Akuma whenever he is released. So will more information on tweaks, checks, and balances come through with Akuma or not? No one's exactly sure of that. But one thing was, Capcom did say, that they were happy in doing small tweaks along the way, and then, having a larger patch at the end of the season. So they may continue with that. So a review of that is on Event Hubs right here, and there is the link to that if anybody wants to watch that. So let's watch the whole video, and then we'll critique it when it's done. I know, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Hundreds of opponents, all felled by his hand. Thousands of strikes exchanged. They forged his spirit. Every moment engraved into his very being. Fists with ambitions so great, they seek to soar beyond the very heavens. Missiles!
Oh my goodness. Ooh. That was nice. Yes. Yeah, that's right. He did. He's the gentle. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Misunderstood protagonist. So let's do real quick, before we get into the absolute breakdown of this trailer here. Let's do a real quick history here on Akuma. So Akuma came to be Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. He was the hidden boss in 1994. And then we had him in Street Fighter Alpha, Alpha 2, Alpha 3, Street Fighter 4, 5, 6. He's in Tekken 7. And then in addition to that, crossover appearances in some of these games. I was really surprised that he was crossed over in Cyberbots, SNK versus Capcom, SVC Chaos, Match of the Millennium, Capcom versus SNK and SNK 2, Super Gem, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, Asura's Wrath, Street Fighter Cross Mega Man, Rockman Dive, Tekken the mobile game, Power Rangers Legacy Wars, Monster Hunter Rise. I did not know that. That's really, really cool. And this next one is really cool too. King of Fighters All-Stars. I didn't know Akuma was in that. That's really neat. And then he was in a pile of animated movies and things like that. This information is from StreetFighterFandom.com. If anyone wants to check out that. So we're talking about a character here that has a very, very extensive history in the lore canon and in the game. And he's a big deal. He's a very, very big deal. And he's seen as one of the big baddies. And he's neat. And people like him. The thing is that I really feel to have that much weight as a character, no matter how good anybody would try to develop Ed, even with him being in 5, and a good character in both, you really can't compete that much with Akuma. Even if they would release Vega, people would say, vast majority of people would say Akuma's cooler. Just really. Um, Now, if they had Bison come out at the same time, I think they would still say Akuma's cooler, but Bison would be a close second. Bison would be a very, very close second. So that's the amount of history and power that we're dealing with when it comes to just character creation. Akuma's a very, very big deal. Yeah. I'm hoping. I'm hoping for Vega, absolutely. Akuma! Akuma killed Bison. I don't remember. I don't remember that. I thought Bison, no, he did! He did. And then he burnt up. He burnt up in Psycho Flame. Psycho Power. Hakan! Man, yeah, I know. I'm pulling for Hakan too, to be honest. I really am. I thought he was a cool character. All right, so let's take a look, and then we will go through his trailer. Now, for me personally, I liked, just in general, I liked how they did this trailer. I felt that when they had the timeout screens, it kind of reminded me of an old movie. But I felt that the Ed trailer had a lot more to reveal than the Akuma trailer does. The Ed trailer, I could watch through and pick out 10 bazillion different things going on in that trailer. And this Akuma one was entertaining and great, but it didn't have as much they didn't give as much information, I feel, and that's good though, because that leads people to wanting to see what is going to happen and what's to come. So that's my opinion on that, basically. Bison. Sigma! Yeah, he can come back for sure. For sure. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm going to freeze this along the way, so... Okay, so the first thing is we go into an area that looks like it's dark, and it's a cave, right? And there's candles everywhere. To me, these games are showing off what the engine is that they're on. We are running on the Resident Evil engine. So that means that these candles and the flickering that they do is going to be really fluid. The coloring's going to look real nice. In the background, it's going to look very fluid and just more realistic. Much, much, much more realistic. And, hair and details is going to be much finer with the advanced engine that this is. So he's in a cave. You can see the teeth of the cave and everything here. And right behind the candle. So here's the focal point. What they're trying to do first is draw you to the candle. Then in the background, they're showing that this is religious. This was in Ryu's background where he meditates. So this is a religious band, an item here. And then we can dart over to this bright area, and you can see the teeth of the cave. So it's really nice. Yeah, it is. Okay, so I thought this was interesting. So you're in a cave and you have all of these candles, right? And then you have water here, which means it's not necessarily a comfortable cave. Not saying caves are that comfortable, but if you're freaking stranded out in the woods and you have to hide someplace and get under cover, you want to stay dry. So you want to sort of go into something that will keep you safe from the elements. There's water in here. That's not necessarily a plus. So he's not in necessarily the most comfortable environment. And then you see this beautiful lantern here. And on the lantern, it says something. I don't know what. But it looks like it's delicate. And it looks like he actually really takes care of it. It's a big deal. And then you'll see why I think it's a big deal later on. This is the back half of the reuse stage. Real? I didn't know that. Wow. Okay. Very, very cool. Very cool. That's a good catch. That's a very good catch. How did you know that? How did you know that? It might be written through somewhere. Just guessing? Sure. I remember, quick segue. I thought it was cool when they had in Street Fighter V the training stage where it was the, it kind of looked like the Garden of Eden with the waterfall and the sheep. And there was a lizard. Remember with Ken and Ryu? And they were training. It was where you learned how to play the game. And all the way to the right was Nash's burial site. That was crazy. That was neat too. So they had that hidden on the player one side. That's true. The Cove. Yeah, that's right. You have it. The Cove right there. Yeah, Akuma's always sort of hanging around. He's always watching, right? That's cool and intimidating at the same time. Okay, we're gonna go a little further here. Okay, and then obviously, okay, so this lantern is floating on the water. So something hits enough for the water to move, right? So lots of force. Okay, and then he has this is a massive cave. So there's a boat. They're suggesting here that this may be some lava coming down. The ship here, and another. This is a more lantern that's a wrought iron industrial lantern for industrial light. There's quite a few of these prayer lanterns here. I don't know what these are. They look like people. They almost look like little. They remind me. This is just a guess. They remind me of those little Egyptian, like things that they used to have, like around when they would have a mummy, and then they would have these Egyptian. They weren't idols, but like little statues. I'm not sure. At the end of Street Fighter V, Sagat inherited the Dark Hutto. The organ containers. Yeah, that's it. The organ containers. No, maybe. Whoa. Ooh, that would be wow, that'd be really kind of scary if that was it. He has some over here too. Whoa, that would be really interesting. I didn't know that would mean Akuma's kind of a collector if he did something like that. I didn't know that. This stage is insane. Can't wait to see it in game. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. This is going to be a very, very, very interesting background for sure. Can Bison. Oh my goodness, yeah, well that's right. The essence of Bison. Can you imagine that? Bison probably is over here away from everybody else. He probably has them in a real special little spot so that nothing like makes it fall over. Boy, that would be something. Wow. Well, that would make Akuma even scarier if that's what he's doing. Taking people's souls. He and Shang Tsung would have a field day together. That's interesting. I cannot wait for Akuma. Yes. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Hey, we're just trying to pick out little things as we see as we go along. But this is gorgeous. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. Just visually, especially like I said, the detail to the candles, and that's where the engine comes in, is with the candles, for sure, in my opinion. Macaulay. Oh my God, yeah, Macaulay being there too. Oh my goodness, all the baddies. Oh, I feel kind of bad. They're stuck in those jars forever. Oh my Lord. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's absolutely right. The Seth bodies. Yes. Yeah. They did a really good job with those tubes. Somebody on Twitter said that if you zoom in on the Seth that's closest on the left, they say if you get like big damage, they'll actually change faces. I'm like, that's something. And Gil, oh my goodness. Oh yeah, Mr. Safe. Mr. Safe's picking out the levels. I would really think that I bet you his level 2 is going to be his V Trigger 2 from Street Fighter 5. I really think so. I really think that's what it's going to be. Yeah, yeah, somebody zoomed in on them. Somebody zoomed in on it, and that's what they said. I saw it. I saw it on Twitter. Yeah. Okay, let's scoot. We'll scoot through the next one, next little part here. Okay, so what are we seeing? Well, we're seeing a rock, a massive forearm, and the person, we know who it is, doesn't even have gloves. They just have rope twisted around their hands like a freaking badass. So this person doesn't even, it's either that he doesn't care about gloves, he doesn't have access to gloves, or he's purposefully doing this because it helps him focus more and train more by possibly causing discomfort to himself using the ropes on his hands. Now we know he's not doing it for looks. So 4 reasons, isn't it? It's one of those 3, in my opinion. That's what I think. Oh yeah, Akuma's huge. He's massive. I bet you he's going to be a little bit smaller than Honda. I bet you he'll be almost the same size as Blanca. I bet, just tiny bit. He might be as big as Blanca is. Zook! I don't know. His arms are huge. This is a huge forearm here. So let's keep going. And then of course, real quick, just to say, detail on the rope, detail in the rock here, and then of course, veins, and these almost look like they're not hair follicles, but it's just extremely detailed skin texturing.
hundreds of opponents.
So I appreciate this. I think it brings, and the sound of the announcer brings respect, but this is also, it sort of reminds me of a classic movie. It's in black and white. It's very simple, easy to read and understand, and the font here is font here looks old, classy, and a little edgy at the same time. Yeah, that's right. He'll put you in a headlock, and then your head will knock right off, and that's the end of the game, for sure.
All fell by his hand.
Okay, so we are in the cave. Here, okay. The first thing, I'm trying to even figure out what the first thing was when we came into this, what I saw. The first thing I saw is a statue, which is massive, and it's a demon. The second thing I saw were all these little dollies again. They're not dollies though. They're the they're the stone kind of, remember, Egyptian but not Egyptian, possibly soul containers. Here's the boat. Here is the little lights floating on the water, the lanterns, and the candles. And this is a pile of rocks that are on top of each other here. That's definitely something. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely something. Cleansing and prayer candles. Very good. Oh, okay. I like that. Well, then then we could say this is then this industrial one is for light. So these are all his cleansing and prayer candles here. So he's staying focused. And there's the volcano. Bam! All the lava coming down. And there's Akuma, who looks massive even from this far away. I'm trying to see if there's anything else here that we're kind of missing, but it looks pretty good. Okay, he's not in a rush. He's literally kind of, in my opinion, purposefully and thoughtfully training. And he's huge. He's huge. This is the biggest I've ever seen Akuma. Looks like he has a wolf pelt like this. I'm guessing it's like a wolf pelt, because the only other pelt that I think would kind of look like that would be, there's no way it could be a polar bear or a caribou. That's not near him. Of course, he could just teleport there, right? But he's huge. He has tattered gi on. He's focused. He's in a stance. He's taking his time. His arms are massive. And he's broad. I mean, even this is the sagittal plane. Like this. This is sagittal. So sagittally, he's very broad. He has the same pelt up on top. And his hair looks the same, in my opinion, from behind. It's all up, and then he has this little bun. It's pulled back. And he's standing in the water. Um, sorry. I'm trying to get rid of this line down here. So he's standing in the water. So, in my opinion, that's showing that either the water's warm, which I doubt. He probably just doesn't care. He doesn't care that he's in a cave that's probably, smells dank, and he's standing in this water, and he's taking his time, and he's in his like fight stance, and he's literally just focused on punching this massive statue. It's a giant Kaye statue. Yeah. I thought that. I thought that statue looked like a young demon to me. Yeah, I agree. The whole unit. Zangief size. Ooh. Well, here's the problem with Zangief. Zangief's just, in my opinion, for a big guy, that's Zangief. But Zangief for a big guy, considering how tall he is in proportion. So that's why I'm trying to think of big guys that are shorter, because he's not going to be as tall as Zangief is. So that's why I'm thinking he might be a little bit smaller than Honda. He might be the same size as Blanca. Of course, if Blanca stood up straight, he's a pretty tall guy too, but he doesn't. He's crouched. I think Blanca's, isn't he like 6'2"? Blanca's a tall guy. That would be crazy. Would love to see it. He's going to be slightly taller than Lily. He might be. He might be. Because you know what? The way that he's standing here, he's crouched. His legs go like this. So his knees are bent. His knees are bent, and then his back is straight up. And then he's going like this. But his knees are bent here. That's something.
Thousands of strikes exchanged. They forged his spirit.
So they just basically said he's been here for thousands and thousands and thousands of hits. And then here he goes and steps back in all this water, and then what is it? It's an emphasis on, well, a couple of things, to be honest. It's an emphasis on, well, red, right? But there's some wrinkles here, which is even crazier because, it shows that he's beat up a little bit, but it shows that he's a little older. But it's interesting because he might have some wrinkles, but he looks like he's practically bursting at the same time. But they're definitely showing right here that there's divots right there. So those are definitely wrinkles. The gi is really used. And then, of course, the hair here. That's something. That's a pelt. Look at that. Bam, right there. Aging. Metro City. Saki Dojo. Yeah, that's right. Dan. Yeah. Very cool. Oh my goodness. If that water is blood. Oh my. Wouldn't that be something? Ooh. That would be, if that water was actually blood, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. He could be in a different dimension. You know what I mean? I can't imagine if that water was all blood that would be the Street Fighter world, with Metro City and everything else. I'm thinking that it's more a hue kind of thing, but I don't know. Let's take a look. We'll go a little further here. If that is blood, I'm getting even more concerned for Akuma because he's taking people's souls, he's stuffing them in these little these little soul jars. That's a little scary. And then he's training in blood. I'm a little nervous. He's a lot more intense than he used to be. Because the way I was thinking Akuma is sort of like a shark. He'll come out of nowhere if there's supposed to be a fight, and if you're ready for the fight, or if there's a task or something to be done. But now they're adding all this extra where he might be collecting souls and everything else. Oh my god. He's gonna be really scary. Emphasis on the fur. Emphasis on these look like they might be stretch marks, to be honest, but veins here. Veins. Massive arms. His prayer beads. That's his nose and his mouth here. And a big hand for punching people. And a big hand. Oh my god. His scar on his back. Yes. Yeah, that's right. Oh my lord. Whoa! Alright, so here we go. He's getting ready here for the big punch, or maybe more like a power shove. So here we get to see more of his face, right? And to me, he looks reminiscent of Street Fighter V version of Akuma. I didn't mind that version of Akuma. I thought he was fine. His hair half pulled back. His hair still relatively short. You know what I mean? Long but short. Short for Akuma, or how long it could get, right? You could definitely tell he keeps it shorter. His beard and his sideburns, it all goes straight around. And I thought that was interesting. I didn't mind it in 5. I thought it was a pretty cool thing. You know, it gives some character. There were people that felt that he looked kind of like a lion with a mane. I could see that. You know, because his hair in 5 was red and everything. I was playing Akuma to learn the LBX here at the end of the game, and I call him the angry dandelion because he had this hair and it just looked like it went like a perfect circle, and then his face, he was just so mad all the time. But he looks good. He looks very, very good. Very good. Ropes on both hands here. And they are specifically wrapped to be gloves because he has them crossed over his palms here. He has them crossed over his palms. He doesn't have them crossed in between his fingers. But I mean, you know what I mean. They're gloves. They're gloves. They look very, very good. And his necklace there. Wow, that's a shining bead. Yeah. And he looks angry. He's mad. Goken 2.0. Flower Akuma. That's right, yeah. Flower power. Oh. He's emitting something. Here. And here. So he's leveling up with something right now. Something's getting started. Here we go. Big guy. Big guy. Big guy. That is something. He's going to have presence on the screen. Okay, so he's focusing himself forward. And then And when he did that, it wasn't that he did it real fast either. It was like he was doing it with a lot of purpose and with emphasis. He didn't do it real fast. Um, it's like he wanted his essence to do the work and not the physical movement itself. Open palms. Akuma never does that. No, that's right. He doesn't. He doesn't. That's like the Hashigeki. Oh, man. If that's the case, I'm a little nervous because Akuma, like I said, to learn this, I played Akuma in 5, at the end of 5, last season. And I picked Akuma because, number one, he's cool. Duh. Number two, because he has 10 billion different move sets. And I needed that to learn how to hit the buttons on this leverless. I needed to know how to do quarter circle motions, half circle motions, DP motions, forward and back. Akuma has inputs that you can do with all kinds of options up in the air, quarter circle back and then forward motions. He has 10 million and then double, and then of course the double motions for his levels for his CA. And that helped me sort of understand how to use the buttons on a leverless. But if they're adding even more motions to Akuma, oh my god, I can't even imagine. Because you gotta figure he's got multiple fireballs, a Tatsu, an uppercut, a teleport, and his demon dive kick, and a demon grab. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. I think that's pretty much everything that he had in 5 for specials. He was doing his old fireball motion, but instead went open palm. Me personally, I don't remember how he did his fireballs in 5. But if he's going like this, I know when Ryu's going like this, he's doing a Hashigeki. Maybe Akuma has the regular fireball, and then he has a literal fireball. Maybe they switched one out for his own version of Hashigeki. Do you think that's it? For the open palm? Or maybe that open palm is a crumple. No, because there was some sort of like a smoke behind it. So it has to be something. It has to be something bigger than just a crumple. It probably blasts you halfway across the screen. To be honest, it probably blasts you halfway across the screen, and then you get a bounce back. Is what I'm thinking. Because he's always been crazy. He'd do something like that and probably just shoot right through somebody's chest. Look at that. I'm not sure. Well, let's go a little further here. Watch him have a command grab. Technically, he has one. Technically. Really technically. If you do his demon dive kick, you can do a scoop, and then remember he does that flip and he goes over your head, and then he does that boom like that. He does have that. He might have, you know what I mean, a ground one. I guess you could call that sort of like an air one. I always liked it because it reminded me of Vega Zazuna. You grab them in the air. Technically, Akuma's in the air, and the person's on the ground. Well, no, it's the same thing. Vega's in the air too. So yeah, it's like Akuma's Azuna demon scoop, I guess. If that made the freaking statue move, you better believe that's gonna knock somebody across the wall for a wall bounce, and he's just gonna go ham. It'll be, if that's a Hashigeki, it would be Akuma Hashigeki, wall bounce, level 2 for extended combo, and then he'll just go ham.
Every moment engraved into his very being.
Oh my. Elephants and Akuma, never forget. Okay. Okay, so what we're seeing here is emphasis on him because now he's all brought to light, right? And he's the focus of the center. And the light is really, because he was in the shadow before. So, he's got all his fur here, and emphasis on his fist and the ropes on his hands and this massive forearm. His prayer beads, more fur, and then they're blatantly showing Akuma's older, but he's still ready to destroy everybody. Yeah, he's got some wrinkles in here. His eyebrows are gone. Yeah. I think, too, that there's an emphasis of, I'm just putting this out there. I don't know if this is right or not, but I think that they're trying to show that there's an emphasis of good and evil in the background. Because you've got blue and you've got red, and those are contrasting colors. So that could be a thing for him. Maybe. I'm not sure. Having a student for the first time. Oh my goodness. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. There's also some smoke here, but the smoke, they did this on purpose. It's not really smoke. It might be essence, because the graphics in this game is good enough for smoke to look like smoke. And this looks like calligraphy-ish, especially right around here. So I really like that, because to me that's some ties to Street Fighter 4. The focus attack, right? Maybe that's why he's training. Oh no, I think he likes to train just because he likes to say he could train because he has a student, but I really think he trains because he's always trying to better himself and be centered and to honestly kick everybody's ass. Yeah, really. Oh my goodness. There was a... Oops. There was a button. I forgot. Oh, that's right. Okay. Okay, so what are we seeing here? Well, it looks like a part of the cave is coming down. And I don't see Akuma at the bottom. But there's the lantern. Here are all the little candles. Here's the boat, the cave, the water, obviously the statue, right? And then the volcano here. Okay, ceiling coming down. Akuma's like, I can't believe I just busted up another cave. He's stealing what's in the cave! Are you serious? I have to have a drink of water. Oh my god. That's wild. I didn't think about that. That's really good. Oh my god. You know what? I wonder if he. Because I kept thinking, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, I feel bad for whoever keeps carving those statues if he's just going around and breaking all those statues all the time. But really, either those statues are pre-placed there by some thing holy, and he's meant to go to those places and destroy those places, and maybe those statues are sort of like the guardian of whatever he leaves behind. Jeez, that's really intense, to be honest. This is an intense trailer. I didn't expect us to go down this road, to be honest. I had thought he was trying to test his might against that statue, and the statue happens to come down, and the cave happens to come down, and I really didn't understand the point of those little the stone jars. We'll call them the stone jar people. The stone jar people. Huh. Well, here it almost looks like he's very his face looks relaxed to me. I mean, it's not relaxed, but it looks relaxed compared to, he always looks like he's really sort of puckered up. He looks like he's more like obviously he completed something, and almost as if his job is done. Wow, if he's burying all those poor people in that cave, I want to go and like freaking dig them out. I feel a little bad. Jeez. No, he's not. He's focusing on. That's it. Oh, okay. No, that's what he is. He's royally focusing here because I don't want to give it away. He does a DP. But that's what he was. He's just really intent and focused on his job. Oh my. This is very. I did not expect this trailer to go down this road. Forearms bigger than people's futures there. Oh, I can't imagine he would ever die. Oh, maybe he's keeping them from JP. Ooh, that's true too. Oh my goodness, this is really, he needs to go and knock out JP. He needs to wipe JP out. I think that's what the answer is. I think he maybe he will. It's very, the way that these games are going is so, it's very, very unexpected, because you have these characters and you think that they're on a certain road, and then they have a certain background and everything, and for many, many, many years, right? Years, 20 years, 30 years. And then all of a sudden, we're seeing things change as to the reason why they're doing what they're doing. And it's, the character development is interesting, and it's intricate. It's neat to see, and it's very cool. It's very cool, but it's very in depth too, and it really changes possibly Akuma's whole task and his pillar now is different. I'm going to take a little segue into Tekken real quick. In Tekken, supposedly the story for Kazumi, Kazuya's mom, was she was placed to marry Heihachi to make sure that he, who was a regular guy, didn't get so much power and get so strong that he was going to start doing some very, very, very bad things. And supposedly, when she got word of, hey, look, your husband's starting to get out of control, and she had Kazuya at that point, they said, you need to knock him out. She said, okay. And then, we know how that went. But it did not go well. But and then the rest of the story then continues. We won't go into that. But that is very interesting, because if Kazumi is tied to Akuma, and she had Akuma come in to try to wipe out Kazuya because she felt that he was also starting to get too powerful and possibly corrupted. This is a very, very, very interesting storyline, because maybe what we're trying to say is that these characters that were initially written and seemed through as demons and devils and everything else aren't necessarily that, but they're just following what they're destined to do, and that's all a part of the bigger plan, which is for Akuma, what? Seal these poor people that are stuck in these jars, and they're gonna be stuck in the cave forever. That's kind of sad. I feel kind of bad. I see he looks like he's in a meditative state here. He knows what he's doing is right. He knows what he has to do. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine if Bison's stuck in that poor little jar? He's going to be stuck in the ground forever. That's kind of sad. Akuma Demon Hunter. Oh, Lord, save us all. Well, it could be Akuma the Demon Hunter. It could be. If everybody in the end is working all on the same side, but they just have different roles, that's very interesting. Very, very interesting, to be honest. What I don't see so far in any of this is any fire. I don't see any fire from Akuma himself, but I'm seeing a lot of energy. Maybe this is chi energy, but I'm seeing a lot of that, everywhere. Yeah. I can't wait. I know, he's amazing. Oh man, he's coming with it. This is going to be the massive DP. Can you imagine that? People were saying, this is the 2-hit kill in Street Fighter. This is the 1-hit kill right here. You start off with this? That's going to end everything. Oh my Lord, save us all. Okay, so this is that's a demon mask. That is a demon right there. So, are we saying Akuma is possessed? Has he been possessed for all these years? I don't know. I always felt that this was Akuma's calling. This might show that he's a vessel working with somebody else. I don't know. But that's interesting. It's very interesting. And he has his beads. and he's older, and all the